Hello, going live for how to crowdfund 5K in 30 days. And we just want to make sure we're live in all the platforms here. In the meantime, we got some chill music. Welcome, welcome. If you're on the live today, give us a shout out, say hello. All right, here we are. Good morning. Well, good morning, PST. I know a lot of other people are in other parts of the world. Just had a meeting with someone in the UK, in EST, and I'm in PST. So we literally covered morning, afternoon, and night. So let's see. Okay, looks like we're testing some things. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be going to our main content at 11:45 PST. It is 11:42, so we got 3 minutes until then. If you're tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. Where are you tuning in from? What time zone are you at? What area? Let me know. Are you an artist? Are you a entrepreneur? Page test. All right, Clara, I got the chat. Okay. All right, we got Claire in the house supporting me over here. We got some amazing new equipment. You guys can see the fun background with a microphone. My name is Jessie Allen. I serve artists and musicians, especially independent artists and musicians, to crowdfund 5K in 30 days to make sure independent artists get themselves funded and equipped to do their passion, to get their music out there. I believe that every artist who is an artist is called to their passions. And I believe that it doesn't, for a lot of us, it doesn't go away. If we ignore it, it's going to come back later with a stronger ache. So I am just so passionate about getting artists equipped and funded and having them launch their music so that they can live their purpose. Any purpose-driven artists out there, this is the community you want to be a part of. Any mission-driven artists. The cool thing about missions and purposes, they get to get funded. We sow seeds. I was talking with Andy Baker this morning, had a meeting with him and with Rocket Fuel. And we sow seeds. We never want to, by the way, we never want to be, I was just talking with a producer about this. We never want to just do a crowdfund and just like leave it, and then disappear. I actually did that and it's no fun. You know, you want a crowdfund to be a part of a successful business plan, a plan that's going to or reap crops, if you want to go with the seed thing, long term. So that's the thing that I see about crowdfunds that don't work. If you just crowdfund it and then leave it there, right? You just don't have a long-term plan. So let your crowdfund be a part of a bigger plan. Andy Baker and I are going to be partnering up very, very soon and talking about that. So if you're curious about how you can use crowdfunding as a long-term strategy, not just to reap the costs, reap the costs that you use on your album, but actually be a part of a long-term business plan, you're going to want to be looking out for my partnership with Rocket Fuel coming up in March. Hey, good morning. I see we have other people on. Glamster Zero is on. Who else is on? I can't see my Facebook group. But if you're on, give me a shout out, say hello. We're going to be starting here. We're going to be talking about launching your campaign. So if you're curious about how to crowdfund 5K in 30 days, this is the place. All right, Clara, we can stop the music because we're going to get started here. All right, awesome. Good morning, at least from PST time zone. Welcome. My name is Jessie Allen. I am a singer-songwriter as well as a indie artist crowdfunding coach. And my passion, my mission is to get artists equipped, funded, and to put out their music. And the crowdfunding process should be a part of a larger business plan. It's not just get the funds, although it feels good to just get the funds. It is receive the funds and use this process, use this momentum to create long-term effects in your artist journey, in your business plan, so to speak, and so that you can continue to get music out there. So we're going to be talking about launching your plan today. And I only have 15 minutes today. It's a shorter live. So if you have any questions, be sure and comment below about your crowdfunding needs. So again, welcome, welcome. I think we have some other people come. Okay, Keys 5318. Oh, you got Glamster Coolith. I have never never seen that before. Coolith, good to see you. So we're going to be talking about launching your campaign. If you missed it, go and watch the replays of the last few days. The first day we talked about questions artists have about crowdfunding. The second day we talked about your signature story. The third day we talked about the teams and systems that you need in place to launch your crowdfund. And then we got today launching your crowdfund. Tomorrow I'm going to do another live talking about everything and reviewing and questions. So if you are curious, you have questions, definitely jump on the live tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. PST. We're going to be going over questions. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and comment questions if you have that. And if you have more questions you want to see me live, it's tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. PST. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about launching your crowdfund. I'm going to untoggle this here, and hopefully you guys can see this. All right. So we're going to be talking about launching your crowdfund. And there's three things that you need to know around launching your crowdfund. The first thing is your daily to-do list, because you're going to be doing something every day. You don't just create 5K in 30 days by not having a strategy and a to-do list. So you've got your daily to-do list, you've got phone calls that you make, and then you've got live events throughout of it. So there's a plan and a purpose for everything during the crowdfund, and that's what I'm going to be talking about here. So your daily to-do lists include social media posts, email updates, countdown photos. I cannot tell you guys how many people were so clueless. We were posting every day with Phoenix Band. Shout out to Phoenix Band. Go give them a follow, PHNX Band. They did a crowdfund back in October. And if we didn't put the countdown photos on, nobody would have known that we were crowdfunding. They were like, oh, cool, daily posts. They had no idea there was a crowdfund. So those countdown photos are so important. And then you have a goal of how many reach outs that you do each day. Phone calls. Oh my gosh, I get a lot of questions on phone calls because a lot of artists are a little scared. It's not just artists though. We have a society that really, oh, sorry about my hair here. I heard my hair is a little scratchy on the microphone. A lot of our culture is texting, right? So this phone call thing. What is this phone call thing? And how do you make it authentic to where you don't feel weird, right? A lot of people I talk to be like, oh, I'm going to phone call them and ask them for money. No, honey, let's talk about this. So phone calling is actually one of my favorite parts of crowdfunding, and I'll tell you why. Because it's all about connection. You always want to have connection first. Connection plus urgency equals currency. So connection, how do you prioritize connection? So let's just say you're calling up your best friend. You know, you're going to tell them about the crowdfund anyway, but let's just make it a little scarier scenario. Let's talk about you have someone you haven't talked to in 10 years and you're telling them about the crowdfund and you're a little scared. So you send them a voice message on Facebook. You say, hey, John, I haven't heard from you in a while. Hey, listen, I'm working on a project, thought of you. Are you open to a quick phone call? And they either want a phone call with you or they don't. Either way, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt you. It's okay. If your intention is pure, like you truly are prioritizing your vision and your story, which if you missed Signature Story, definitely check out Signature Story on day 2. If you're connected to your signature story, who you are, your vision, this is going to feel good. This is going to feel fun. This is going to feel like a joy to connect with people and share that vision. So, I jump on a call with John and I say, "Hey, John," and then I share my signature story. I say, "Hey, John, you know, I've, we catch up a little bit, by the way. You can catch up, be like, "Hey, how are you?" And then I say, "Hey, I have been in the process of creating an original album, and it's really taken me 10 years to finish this album because I've struggled a lot with knowing that my story is valuable, that my voice counts, that I'm enough, that who I am is an artist. And so I've struggled with putting this out there because of these limiting beliefs. And I actually think this album is going to help a lot of people because that's what the album's about. It's like literally spoken words about how I found my voice, how I found out I was enough, and who I am um, counts. And so, totally no pressure, John, but I'd just be curious if you'd be open to hearing a little bit more about it and supporting me in some some way. And usually everyone that I did that with said, "Oh yeah, sure. Like, how can I support you?" And I got one or two people who were like, "Huh?" and they didn't get it. But like that was two people, maybe actually maybe one or two people out of maybe 100, 200 people that I connected with. What is that? Like 1% or something like that. So literally, guys, and everyone else was so thankful. I got to share my demos with people. People said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that you did this." And it's so cool. I cried. People were calling me back after listening to my demos after I called them and said, "Oh my gosh, I was crying. It's so good. How can I support you?" So phone calls are a beautiful opportunity. And honestly, if you text someone 5 times, isn't that more annoying than just like talking to them one time for 15 minutes? We overthink phone calls way too much in our culture. And I understand it because I have resistance to phone calls, you know? But there's so much joy and beauty in a phone call if you know who you are, what you stand for, your signature story. And again, if you missed that, you want to go back to day 2 of this live platform. So that's what I said to him, and then I laid out three ways that he could support me. Number one, hey, if you want to, you can invest in the project. Number two, you could join my free Facebook group, and number three, you could just pray for me. Some people were like, "Well, I don't really have anything. I don't really." I like, especially the older people. They're like, "Well, can I pray for you?" Very sweet. Like, I will take it. And so some of the older people sent me a check. They're just like, "Oh yeah, let me write out some cash." So you just don't know. Never prejudge people. Just give them an opportunity to say yes or no. And yes or no, it's all good. There's no pressure, right? So it's a lot of fun once you get the rhythm down. And there's a script to do this. So you want to call everyone you know. It's a lot of fun once you get into it. Last thing we're going to talk about, because I only got 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. What is the live event? So I recommend we do a live event toward the end of the crowdfund, and you either do it online or in person. I've mostly done it online because, especially if you've been posting consistently and people are watching you and watching what's happening in the campaign, they want to join online. So you definitely want to let them know ahead of time. Sometimes when I made phone calls, I said, "Hey, you can also join me at an event that I'm having at this date, this time. You're so invited." So set a date. When will it be? Set up the details. I did mine on YouTube Live, and that's how simple it was. Okay. So, do you see the possibility of yourself crowdfunding your next project? If so, type me in the chat. And if you're curious or you missed a day or not sure about some things, you have some questions, I am going to be going live tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. and I'm going to be talking about everything that I walked through this week. The biggest questions that artists ask me, there's your the signature story, teams and systems, and launching your crowdfund. So if you have any questions, if you can see yourself crowdfunding, but you're not really sure about X, Y, and Z, definitely tune into the live tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. I'm going to be going over everything and answering your questions if you have any. So um, that is day 4, guys. Thanks for joining me on day 4. And oh, Helena is here. Okay, hi Helena. Good to see you. Helena and I are talking in 3 minutes. So I got to go chat with Helena. But artists are getting funded, guys. If you are curious and want to know more, definitely comment me in the chat or join me on the live tomorrow at 11:45. I will see you then. It's possible to get funded and get your music out faster. Um, thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.